What a time it is to be the Phantom and be in the Phantom's lair. The SuperCoach finals are in full swing. I scored 2,600. Phantom Junior went crashing out, and I've never seen a happier man than Bear at Beartorious. Welcome back to the league. You're pretty happy. Our man Dossy was the talk of the show last week, the talk of the office floor. It happened.
Well, deep down, I wanted that elimination final matchup next week, but shout out to Trudie.
Yep.
In payroll, doing wonders.
Well done, Trudie.
Doing wonders. Really. Yeah, well done, Trudie.
Well done.
Great stuff.
Did what we all wanted. I had a message last week from a friend over at the Herald Sun, Dan Batten, proud SuperCoach player, and I thought my job was done after he said to me, Dossy made me feel better about my team. And that's what we've said. Dossy just making the community feel better about their own team.
The sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's done it again.
No, thank you for your
just
service.
happy to be of service,
Junior,
guys.
welcome back. Didn't get the chocolates. Just your season in your first season in the SuperCoach leagues here at the Advertiser. Done.
Robbed.
Over.
Right in front of me. Right in front of me.
Yes, look, it's a bit of a controversial decision. I don't know why we're throwing out the way the show normally works, by the way, since my downfall, it usually is top of the pod that kicks everything off. So are we just reversing this? Is this what's happening
What
now?
happened? Tell us how you went in round 21.
To get it up. I haven't opened it since the weekend. So, yeah, look, it was Donuts Dossy. Once again, boys, there was no way around it. Joe Richards decided to play, then not play last week. Then he couldn't even get up for me this week. He couldn't even give me a glimmer of hope this week. I was bound for a donut from the bounce, and a donut I did enjoy with Zach Fisher not coming back in. Would have loved that against Richmond. But it wasn't to be. And, my final score, as you said, crashing out in the elimination final against Trudie. Well done to Trudie. More on that soon, though.
More on that.
23.79 I got. So I would say that's not terrible this week. I mean, we'll gauge the room. So bottom of the pod, clearly not that good. But 23.79 considering I did have that juicy doughy on field. Not my worst effort, I would say.
You were close. It was admirable. Honourable loss. Fighting loss.
Trudie did score well, though. She would have got me.
She made a few
She would have.
nice little trade as well, Bear.
Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it, Doss?
He's taking it well. He's taking the loss well.
Bit of insider trading, I reckon.
Do we open up the investigation? Because Sherlock Dossy.
Sherlock Dossy. Investigation into
Sherlock
what?
Dossy.
Your team? Is there a
Notice that
external review?
the 24.62 that Trudie did indeed score on the weekend in the Advertiser Reserves League, aided by a few shrewd decisions that may have been helped by a few people stopping by her desk last week, more than they usually would, I might add. But Sherlock Dossy noting significant time spent by both Bear and the Phantom across the week. Would you like to explain yourselves? And what were those conversations about?
I've been thrown into this. I can tell you it wasn't me.
Don't try to get yourself out of this at Beartorious. Now,
Shouldn't be in
Trudie
the
does
first
sit
place.
near us, loves her SuperCoach, loves her footy. Just wanted a couple of little points. Happy to talk about SuperCoach with anyone on the floor. I do it most days. Of course, happy to give a little bit more when there's a big matchup between Trudie and Dossy on the line. Now I'm just barracking for the story. And the story was a Dossy loss.
We are journos after all. Root for the storyline.
What was the advice given?
Look, I'll jump in here because I know
Alleged
What
as well,
advice?
5 names. This 5 names is here too as well.
5 names is here.
He
Hasn't
lost.
got a word in yet.
Out the finals as well with you. He's coming up next.
Stuart Wall.
Alleged. What were the alleged?
Well,
Pieces of
pre-bounce,
advice.
I noticed a bit of a point of difference for me. Trudie had gone with one Harry Sheasel, vice captain, a popular vice captain pick this weekend. Dossy, Phantom Junior,
Yep.
had the Bond. Right up until bounce on the Friday.
58% of the top 10%, I think. had VC on the bond.
Well, Trudie didn't. Right up until bounce. And word on the street, I came in today just to Sherlock Dossy put out the feelers. Do you have a word to Trudie on the Friday there, Phants? Because I wasn't in.
Last thing I said was Bont. Trudie said, Bont VC. Yep, Bont VC.
Oh, you said it.
Okay.
You said it was upon your advice.
Obvious call, wasn't it, Bear?
Oh, well, you're talking to the wrong person, actually.
Well, maybe.
I'm afraid.
Listen, I don't trust. Look, this is honestly, I think I've been speaking all morning. I'm going to take this to the appeals board.
Which I'm chairing. I'm chairing the appeals
I
board.
think you are chairing this. What do you reckon, Five Names, as the head of this appeals board? Does Dossy have a case here? He's running his own team and he's been pipped at the post in the elimination final upon some advice handed to him.
I'm giving impartial advice here. Result stands.
Result stands.
Oh.
Now that...
Wow. Sounds quick.
Open and shut case.
But here it is. Now, Five Names.
That's not what we talked about pre-show, Five Names.
Thanks, Five Names. You can come back next week. If you are going to come in on a SuperCoach podcast on the Lair, trying to push into hosting duties, call yourself Phantom Junior, you should be able to hold your own in a SuperCoach League final. You don't need any help. Maybe Dossy wants some help from me. Trudie had one trade left. She scoured the office, just asked what she should do with it. We even told her, you just don't even bother checking your team. You're a shoo-in. She said, no, I have to check it. But she's probably a chance anyway. She had Nick Caulfield on her field. That was what we said to improve. Told her to go with Matt Roberts, suggested that. She was happy. She did. It helped, didn't it?
Well, Caulfield had a 31 on the weekend. That would have been nice to be on the field, Phantom.
But this is all a great lead in by you because this is just an advertisement why you should listen to the Phantoms Lair. We give out good advice.
Yes. Well, I think the real partial judge would have announced.
Guilty.
So
Had it ready. Had to use it.
I had a few other ones. But
Five Names ruined it. Now Five Names.
Yes.
Good score from you,
It was a good store, actually.
but you're out too. Mad Monday, you and Dossy after this. That's why we're recording early this week on a Monday. We've pulled rank over the SuperCoach podcast over at the Herald Sun.
Yep.
I've gone past back in front of our Peyton again, which is the important race. 5:05 for me. We've gone first. Also to clear Mad Monday afternoon for you and Dossy.
Pretty much, yeah. Still 20.
Where are we going?
25-13. I reckon
Your place?
we should go to Ramsgate.
Ooh.
How about that?
Wow.
let's do it. You and me, Sim.
Yep. Let's do it. And then if we see Roo there,
Ooh. Josh Carr.
just maybe. Yeah, so 25-13, which wasn't that, it was a good score, but I got beaten because,
That's rough.
yeah, I copped some absolute massive score. Fortunately, Cherry, LDU, just seeing that there. And then my boy, it's a small point for myself and Bear today. Will Day. What are you, Will.
What happened?
Well, he got tagged. That's what happened.
That's the right one.
People might be dead.
Will Day. Toby Bedford. Got Toby Bedford. That's a good discussion as well for coming up.
He got sometimes people get tagged and they still find a way of getting through it. Think about Zach Butters, or he punches someone, Will Day didn't go down fighting.
Ooh.
He didn't do anything.
What did he say?
He
Bit
just,
of TDKs about him.
yeah, he did.
That's what you're saying.
I didn't say it. He said it.
Okay.
Yeah, just didn't do,
You might have said it too, Bear.
got the,
What do you think about Will Day's performance on the weekend?
Well, I see what you're getting
Hurt
at,
you?
though, Sim. It did hurt me. I was saying to Charlie Dads, who I did get over the line against, but so often I feel like I've gone up against a player who's being tagged and they're looking like, going small, and then the fourth quarter they'll just find 50 or 40 to 50 points out of nowhere. And he didn't even do that. I was not happy. I was especially because it was a bad start for me with missing the Bont VC, but yeah, Will Day. What did he even finish on, Sim?
It was 52, I think.
53.
Yeah, 53,
disgusting.
But the thing is, the whole Hawks squad kind of rolled over in the second half when they would have expected Will Day to be kind of, leading the front way. But yeah, I think as you were probably alluding to there, Phants, Bedford just consistently, seemingly outmatched in terms of physicality, body-wise, but he just runs all day long and is just the biggest pest when it comes to stopping our Supercoach stars.
Very disciplined. He can get the ball himself too. Very effective. Giants play the Lions this week. Lockie Neal.
Oh,
Who we
Lockie.
know has worked through a bit better this year, I reckon, but has been susceptible to the opposition attention, especially one as disciplined as Toby Bedford.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's a big watch for any Lockie Neal owners. I mean, you wouldn't want to put a VC or C on him. But
Could you bench him too, potentially? Put the on him if you can. Second game of the round, Saturday 1:15.
yeah, I like that.
Talk about a bit more the
you-
round, but
If you've got a good person on your bench that, think like who might be able to score above 80 or something, because that's what, realistically, that's what Bedford could keep him down to.
maybe not Billy Dowling this week, like Dossy found out last week down the Cattery.
It hasn't been a good week for our boys fan, has it?
No. Jack Sinclair was pretty good though. 142 Supercoach points for my team. Thank you again, Dossy.
Speak about listening to advice. That was my call. Let's not forget that. So.
But we give good advice on the Lair. That's it's always a constant. Most of the time our team's no good, but again, good advice comes from the Lair. Bear.
One more good advice. Mateus Philippou.
Ooh,
85, F6
Back.
for me.
got spanked too. Saints.
So thank you very much for that one, Dossy.
They've got the Tigs this week too.
Oh.
So you'd expect, he's, I know we're going to be talking about some people to watch in 2025 in a little bit, but gee whiz, he's skipping ahead. He'd be right up there for me at the moment. Philippou.
What'd you score in the end, sorry? What'd you score?
25-13.
Okay.
Just rubbing in. Yeah. What'd you score, Bear?
No. 2-4-4-8 for me.
Ooh,
Second to bottom.
that hurts. Five names.
Without the Bont VC. If we want to jump back to the captaincy secrets, Doss went the other way for me. I saw Charlie Dad's had the VC on Sheasel, and
When you went, checked him out on
Yeah.
Friday afternoon behind his
every
desk.
single day, yep. And I went to match it. I had it on Bont, and I took it off Bont to go Sheasel, but he duped me out.
Back. Wow.
He went back to Bont right before the
wow.
bounce. Well played to him. That's
Yeah,
a
well
veteran
played.
move. Veteran move. So hats off to him.
I tried to do the same to Trudie, but she'd already seen it was too late. And plus, she had, of course, as we know, the guilty verdict. She had
Played a very good Supercoach game.
going across to the desk. But yes,
I'm a little nervous now with this Trudie matchup.
and let's just
after
say,
what we've
you
gone
would have
through.
lost. Just let the jury know that
Nah.
Bear would have also lost that matchup this week
Would have had Bont VC,
with
mate.
the mighty Trude.
Nah. Not having a bar of it.
Anyway, do you want to hear about my score?
Let's go. Come on.
2605. He moved up back 198 spots up to 505. Supercoach tons all round. Only Jordan Dawson on 98.
Jeez.
Luke Jackson 48. The forward line was a bit Flanders Zorko all sub 100 Heaney. Midfield and defence only Jordan Dawson under three figures. Some good figures there. Obviously, Bont had Bont VC. Mentioned Jack Sinclair. Bailey Dale was good. Luke Ryan returned to form. Now, I think we need to claim responsibility for
Absolutely.
that on the Lair. You posted as well, told the community he was back, kicking short, getting it back.
It's disgraceful.
But I fired up Justin Longmuir
He was in the pan.
last week on the Lair. The game's called football, isn't it, Bear?
Sure is,
Meant to
mate.
kick it. Told Justin to let his players get the ball, let Luke Ryan get the ball and kick it as many times as he wants. He did that. He's back. We'll take that.
Are we worried that they didn't win?
Okay, we don't care about the result, Bear.
Oh no, I'm just worried that he might have copped a grilling or his own little fry pan from Longmuir, Luke Ryan. But it was good to see him back. A few cheapies in D50.
Yep.
Prime Luke Ryan.
We like it. I had Zach Fisher out as well. Sean Manor played him over Billy Dowling down at the Cattery, 79 Supercoach points for him. Hopefully we get Zach Fisher back. Battling that foot injury, Alistair Clarkson confirmed late last week after we recorded. Was going to be a chance. Said he's tracking okay, so haven't ruled him out for the year, haven't ruled him out for this week. Fingers crossed we get him back in.
Fingers crossed. I need him for my. Oh wait, I'm out. Never mind.
Oh, there's overall rank, mate.
He's
Yeah,
out
I
of that.
still think I've
He's out of that
pipped
too.
on that at least.
Nah, I'm chasing you down. I'm going to get all the confidence out now before I lose to Trudie.
A lot of questions coming through again on X at the Phantom SC. If you do want to be involved in the show, we appreciate all our loyal listeners for listening and being a part of it every week. Still plenty of comments, questions, banter coming through this late in the season. Now, we like everything directed at the Hipster, don't we? 5 names. We'll read everything. If you mention Hipster in it, we'll read it out. Connor says, even though Hipster had kept a spot in the league, did he lose his spot on the pod from the mid-season reviews? Now, that's a good question. We haven't seen him for a while. Connor follows up with, if so, we a chance to rename Shooting from the Hip to a 5 names reference for all his quality calls lately.
I like it.
Wowee.
Yeah, the people have spoken.
I think we should do it.
Yep.
Dump Shooting from the Hip. Dossy, can you change your Dossy again board over there? The pew might be dead.
Wow.
5 names.
Found
Unique
them.
names with 5 names.
Yep.
That was yours?
That should be it. Unique name with 5 names.
I think you're officially taking over. We can still say pew for the
Yeah, it's a bit tough to change the pad for that one.
for the sound effects, but Hipster's out officially.
Yeah,
He's in the 2s until you are dropped.
I like that.
You're the man.
I like that.
So for Connor,
For sure.
for the SuperCoach community, before we get to a few more questions and comments, what have you got for us?
I've
Pew.
got one here. Going a little bit to the back to the past. A favourite of yours,
Yep.
Nick Newman.
Oh, my man, Nick Newman. Pew. Massive.
Scored very well last time out. I have a feeling he's going to have a big run home. I think it's all set up for him to have a big run home at the moment.
I remember when Al Payton did the rundown on Code Sports on the best runs home. I think Nick Newman was right up there. Carlton have a great run home for defenders. Now, that was a few weeks ago, I'm sure, but there's plenty of matchups still to come for him. So who does he have this week? Let's have a look at the fixture. He's got Hawthorn this week at least. So don't know what that's like for defenders, but surely in the next couple.
They didn't go near Lockie Whitfield.
No,
West
they didn't.
Coast
They did not
in
go.
round 23. And then to finish off, we have St Kilda, which is a juicy one for your SuperCoach grand final matchup.
And that's what you need. Now, we know he's been inconsistent in the past. He's been inconsistent again this year. 144 against the Magpies on Saturday night. 84, 90, 64, 84 in the previous month. But at this stage of the year, you just want the big score. There's only 3 weeks left. He can give you a big score to get you through for a final, or he's won your aim for that grand final matchup. If you keep a trade, if you followed through on your strategy, unlike Bear, kept your trades for the finals.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Nick Newman in grand final week. Pew.
Ooh.
Now, Cam Rayner was
Machine gun one, that one.
was the unique name with 5 names last week.
Yes, it
he was.
was.
Okay.
He went all right.
well,
He got 99.
He tried to claim it. Oh, Dossy.
He got
Hang on a
90.
second.
He got 99.
Who
And,
mentioned it first? Let's roll back the tape on that one.
it's still 99. So, did what you needed to do if you were a bit strapped for cash and needed a forward, because the forwards are pretty rubbish this year.
99 points in his last 5 games. I think it's a bit over 99. But yeah, huge numbers for Cam Rayner. Definitely didn't see that coming, to be honest, especially because he's not really getting massive, there's not been a massive role change in terms of set bounce or anything. He's just lifted his game, and perhaps the inclusion of a Will Ashcroft or whatever's going on at the Lions, they're just on an absolute roll at the moment. But yeah, he's a genuine forward option at the moment, which I don't think any of us could have said that even just 10 weeks ago. He was not looking like an option at all.
No, but I didn't love it still last week. He could have come out and put up a 40 or a 50, but well done. 5 names.
Thank you.
No,
Good start. And you, Dossy, unique names with 5 names.
Yeah.
Good start.
Done well.
Need to fix up that board for next week. Doss again. Now, questions coming through. Our Payton. Yeah, gone past him again if didn't mention that before. Asking for a friend, he says. Who has Zach Fisher on the bench? Billy Dowling F6 and 1 trade left. 160K in the bank. He's asking. I think it's a good discussion for everyone to answer, because a lot of SuperCoach out there might have the similar issues. 160K in the bank. Zach Fisher not ruled out. Should he trade Zach Fisher up to anyone, trade Billy Dowling up to a more reliable cover option, or save the trade. What do we think, Dossy? Fisher doesn't play this week. We had a trade left. Would you trade him or trade his cover up and then hope you get Fish for 2 weeks?
So what is the difference between Dowling and Fisher?
Dowling 336, Fisher
Right.
473.
Oh, it's a decent amount, isn't it?
What does,
So he's
what does
only
Al
up to,
have in the
can
bank?
only get to 490 out with his 160k from Billy Dowling.
490.
I think, you know what? I'd probably, I don't know. It really does depend on Fisher, but I'd probably still hold Fisher if he's going to play one of, even a couple of the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then get probably eye off, could you afford a poo? I think I'd almost look towards that, because Philippou in the games where he's played as a midfielder has looked amazing. And I don't think, as we said, Saints got smashed on the weekend and he still put up a mid-80s. You'd think that Ross gives them a bake. They come back at least a little bit more competitive this week. We've talked many times that they've got every single game coming at Marvel Stadium still. I think I'd probably prefer jump off a Dowling. We just saw Matt Crouch return as well. The Crows were much more competitive, bit more competition for touches in that area. I think that's probably the way I'd go, and just hope for a miracle return from Zach Fisher, because we know when he plays and he's not the sub, he can score.
Yep. You could get to 5 names as man, Dossy's man, Cam Rayner in the trade hour, Billy Dowling.
Ooh, that's nice.
One I like, though, we'll talk about him a little bit later, 426k. The Crows this week at Adelaide Oval, Jeremy Cameron kicked a bag on Nick Murray, as 5 names has pointed out in his hard-hitting other life in the lowdown. You can read that tonight, advertiser.com.au, Monday night and all week. Talking about 2025, he's my top pick, a top man I want to talk about in 2025, Jamara. Now, watched his performance against Melbourne last week. Bear would have been watching as well. Every time the ball went near him, looked unstoppable in the air. When he sticks his hand up, no one can go with him. Kicked 2 goals, 6. A SuperCoach ton for him on the weekend. His last 4 weeks, 122, 89, 95, 108. Got the Crows and North in the next 2 weeks. We like ceiling. If he kicks straight, he scores 150 against the Demons. Could happen against the Crows. Could be priced at under 75 for next year. I'm locking him in at the moment already. I like to make an early call. Jamara in my forward line when the team picker opens in December. We'll talk about a few more names, Dossy, for 2025, just for you, because I know you've moved on.
I have.
From this year.
Yep.
But what's the date today? 5th of August. Jamara, lock him in next year and maybe this year. What do we think?
Well, could you do it next 2 weeks? Not you.
Not me.
But maybe.
Yeah, well,
maybe an Al.
I like it.
Yeah.
Crows this week. Our needs a big jump.
It's
Could you,
enticing.
If it doesn't
would you personally do it?
If it doesn't work, then
you'd be
Fisher
so
comes
nervous. I mean, yeah, I love it. It's a great shout. And yes, agreed. He's looking unstoppable. Could you be comfortable looking at your team?
Would be comfortable,
It
no.
would I mean, it's just because it's so groundbreaking. It's such a innovative
That's what we do here.
idea. Yeah. But it would
One
be,
to ponder
you would be
out.
nervous.
Those who got burnt by Kerno wouldn't be doing it.
Philippou Richmond this weekend. 99 in his last 3, playing in that inside mid role. Obviously came back from an injury though. Miraculous return as well. I think it was only a few rounds he was out.
Yeah, he's out for 2 weeks. Meant to be
2
3
weeks.
to 4.
Yeah.
But back to Al, sorry.
Yep.
He's got 1 trade left?
One trade left.
He's got 160k in the bank. Okay. Because Dowling to Philippou would be a 5k downgrade.
Crazy.
But I think
You
trading
could get there
Dowling,
elsewhere.
trading Dowling is the move.
Yep.
Definitely here, isn't it? If you can get,
What if he did have to Rankin? Is Rankin's back this week?
could get Rankin, maybe could get a Jai Caldwell too, potentially.
569k Rankin. Pretty expensive. You'd have to be trading Fisher.
Did you end up holding Rankin all these years?
I did not.
Okay. That was a fun week.
No, I burnt all my trades, years ago.
DSE's got another question this week. Burn 2 trades to upgrade Simpkin to Rankin or hold the trades. He's got, or she's got 3 left.
Hold this week because Simpkins playing West Coast in Hobart.
Yep.
West Coast do not travel well.
Rankin first game back too.
Yeah, Rankin first game back. I think Simpkins could have a good week this week.
Simpkin went like massive against West Coast.
What about
They
Shout?
kicked the 2 game winners.
Yeah, that was over there. This is where North win games. Hobart.
Yep, no, that's why you're on the show, 5 names. You're going to get the Coaches Award, I think, this year to spoil the end of season awards. It's been good. We had some feedback as well from a listener that Mr. Supercoach met out one night last week after the show. Called you out, so he's enjoyed your performance this year.
It's been a breakout year.
But a question just popped in, a comment just popped up on X. Now, Craig Uppington says, how is 5 names spending his Mad Monday after elimination from Top Flight? Regards, friend of the show, Bluey Humpslots. That is who took you down.
Yeah, they took me down.
Craig Uppington's commented in. Just, Any message for him?
Well done, Trey.
Long-time Supercoach player and he's friend of the show too.
Friend of the show. Better team won.
Well, we want a Mad Monday report next week for you and Dossy, all right?
Yeah, I'm good at Mad Mondays.
Now, not skip, just a quick one. Now, you guys are probably looking at the same stats. Bit of quiz music.
Quiz.
For a quick question.
Like
Just a quick question just came to mind. Who has played in the last few weeks, by the way, has the top 5 round average as a forward?
No checking?
No checking. The top 5 round average as a forward and that has been playing. So Isaac Rankin, I'll give away as the number 1 at 116.2, but he's not been playing. So who is number 1? Just came off a 146.
Jesse Hogan?
Bang. Best forward in the competition ahead of Sam Flanders, who broke his ton run this week. First score under 100 for the season, and it was against West Coast.
Disappointing.
How about that?
Just on that, just had a little, just want to feel a little bit better, had a message from a friend on Saturday morning. Said, I had Vont VC, but wasn't aware of the double game. Had Flanders C. Thought it was the first game on Saturday afternoon. Thought he had time to wake up and change it. Just took the old 91 from Sam Flanders C with Bont VC.
Oh, that hurts.
That's brutal.
Another Giants player, Daniel on X, has asked, is James Peatling a legit F7 option or too much of a sub-risk at the Giants?
I think he's too much of a sub-risk.
Yeah, I agree. I think if Philippou there, you just go that direction.
As in, I know you looked confused there. Yeah, 5 names is meaning with the price difference.
Trade. Yeah.
They're similar price bracket. You'd go him over Peatling. I think the only issue is, when they're full strength and stuff, who they bring in. But they did have a big win on the weekend with Peatling in the mix, and he's on fire. Yeah, I think for Classic, for the limited trades, if you have a role change at this time of year, you are just in strife in the next few weeks.
Yep.
Shout out Max Holmes.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
God, it could be a good play though. Like if he holds the role, it's a great play. It's just the risk. If you've got more than a couple trades and you could swing him back out and he's named this week and there's no extra competition, then sure.
I reckon maybe around the bye rounds he was cooking, and then all of a sudden
and
he
then
was
straight
dropped.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Just
Well, maybe
shock.
Kingsley's learned his lesson this time.
Question from Oscar. 2 trades left, 100 points from the top 1,000. Good year so far, Oscar. Luke Jackson to Isaac Rankin, easiest trade of the week. 2 trades left. You want to make top 1K. I think -2 on the surface anyway for Luke Jackson in the second half against the Bombers of the MCG. What do we think? I like it.
No qualms.
Yeah.
Yep. Is there any because when Isaac Rankin was, I think Crouch was in for a few games where he was playing mid as well, but is there any, like on his ceiling, I mean, with some of the options that are, as we said, cooking out there at the moment, is there any concern that he won't go straight back into that midfield at Adelaide?
I think he'll go straight back in that. Yeah, he'll have to go straight back in that midfield.
It was more just what he offered rather than they didn't have the numbers that he got in.
He's not an 80% set of bounce guy.
No, exactly. No, I'm with you guys.
Especially with Laird going halfback as well.
Dogs this week though. Tough matchup.
Zoe says, who would you trade? Luke Jackson, following on from Oscar's question, or Charlie Curnow? Didn't do a lot, old Charlie, Saturday night.
Charlie.
Trade Charlie.
Yeah,
Keep
I reckon.
Luke.
Yeah, I reckon it looks like he's got an ankle issue.
Oh,
Yeah, Charlie for me as well. Who are the
Dockers are
got?
playing the Cats. We know the Cats give up
Okay,
huge
massive.
ruck points. As we spoke about a couple of weeks ago when we're looking at the captaincy options, Tristan Sherry dominated on the back of the other ruckmen who have gone big against the Cats in previous weeks. So, good shout.
You don't
Trade
like
Charlie Curnow.
You don't like the. So you said there's an injury concern though. 5 names.
It looks like he's
Ankle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hasn't be like troubled by an ankle injury.
I'd be nervous trading someone who's in the hunt for a common. Don't we usually target those guys on the way home?
Big finish.
Yeah. Usually you're kind of targeting the names, going for the big one, but fair enough. Follow these guys. They're still in their leagues. Well, 5 names.
I mean, I'm still in the Hipsters home league or whatever it is.
Okay.
Prospect
That's right.
league.
Just one on Hipster and one for you, Dossy. Adam Buckers, your man, says, get the Hipster on. Now, should we see what the Hipster's up to?
Give it a go.
All right.
Cold call him.
Hang up.
It does ring for a long time.
He's brushed us.
Yep.
Wow.
Hipster's brushed us. Adam, we tried to get him on for you. We know he would have enjoyed the Tristan Cherry, Toby Nankervis rock battle on the weekend. Brushed us. Brushed old Dossy.
Unbelievable scenes, yes. He's brushed old Dossy there. Doesn't have my number, but
Important information.
Last one to finish off on X. Biz says, how should teams that have a bye on the top 4 matchup attack this week to get the upper hand in trade? So, won the qualifying final. They get a week off. Biz has already booked a prelim spot. It depends how many trades you do have. You've got a few. You can make a few moves to allow yourself some more flexibility for next week. Otherwise, you're just wait and seeing, aren't you?
Yep, agree.
How many trades do you reckon some people have?
If you've got 4
You're
or
in
5,
qualifying final. Wow.
if you've got 4 or 5, maybe just you make one this week, make an upgrade. Because who knows, you get injuries next week, then you can't make an upgrade and improve your team. You can't get that jump. So I assume that's what Biz is talking about. But if you've got 2 or less, then you're probably not using that in advance.
Use one, play it safe with it.
Yep.
Use it to build towards the prelim. I wouldn't use it to. I mean, it depends if you're still caring about your rank. We know my stance on that. So
Well, I think Dossy's joined you. That's why he wants to talk about 2025.
there we go.
2025.
Yep.
Yes. And my research has well and truly begun for the new season, as I will be, building for a huge year next year. Saving many trades up my sleeve for the back half of the year time.
What was the worst trade you burnt, Lloyd?
I've got there's plenty. But yeah, I reckon probably up there would be the Chad Warner one because it was such a luxury trade. I think, that being said, I think it was like Jack Steele or something. So it was one of these guys, but it was, Jack Steele to Chad Warner, and then I traded Chad Warner after like 3 weeks. So I think that was probably one of the bad ones. Then obviously Nank recently from Gorn.
Rowan Marshall as well.
I'm pointing at my screen.
That's the worst, of course. Yeah, Rowan Marshall to TDK.
You got burnt on that one though.
It's a great segue though to my number 1 target for 2025, TDK. Let's go. Underpriced.
You're going back there, TDK.
Absolutely. He's going to be priced at 101.5, which is what I can see him still averaging in my team this year, as he'll remain for the rest of the season.
He got the captaincy this week, didn't he?
Yeah, he actually was the skipper this week, thanks to Phant.
We don't have, I reckon at one point next year we don't have to have an intervention on you and TDK.
And then my number 1 defender next year, Sam DeConti. No, I'm just kidding. But no, TDK is up there for me. I don't know what's the angle on this, Phants? Do you want to go like the youth? Do you want to go just like who we're just early days looking at, going to be underpriced? Sort of no
real guy.
No rules?
No rules. We like no rules here. I think when we look early about 2025, you like to look at some value, some underpriced guys. There's some obvious names with players coming back. Kitty Coleman, Bailey Smith, those types. But who can we watch, I think, in the next few weeks? It's always important to see how players finish off the previous year when looking at your team for the upcoming season.
Yep.
That's why I like Jamara.
The poo, as I mentioned before, super high. It is tough at this time of year though, because those are like the big ones that are noticeable, either in hot form or sudden role change to finish the year. Some guys are just finishing strong, and then others are sudden role change. But there's other guys, obviously, in the trade period. You know, we'll get to some podcasts in the trade period as well, where players change teams, and that's just a massive thing. Like a guy like, say, an Angus Sheldrick buried at the Swans midfielder, if he was to go somewhere like West Coast, bang, straight away. We've already heard Jack Graham potentially moving over to the Mighty Weagles, Premiership bound, 2025. Those are some guys. I'm keen on a guy who actually was one of the players that ruined my weekend. Now, it's not a hot take. This guy's obviously a big name. But Harley Reid for next season, I'm jumping straight back on for year 2. I think playing a full season as an inside mid in your rookie year, 7 frees against on the weekend, scored 66. Like, he's got plenty of improvement to go. And as the Eagles improve, he's only going to improve. I think he's, especially as a mid only, a lot of people are going to get scared off to start Harley Reid next year. But that's when I think he's going to really flourish in his second year already.
Don't mind that. In a similar boat, obviously played a bit more, we'll think about it. It would be in the early team, I reckon. Jumping back on George Ward after I went big in the preseason. He's shown what type of scorer he can be. Hopefully he's okay. The body's okay. The head's okay. He really hit the ground running next year. The horny one, Jason Horne-Francis, as well.
Yeah.
Now, a few jumped on him early in the year when he got off to a hot start. Is next year the one when he finally does it consistently for the whole season and finally pushes well into a 3-figure average? Maybe.
What about, I mean, you're a Melbourne man, Bear.
Here we go.
A Trent Rivers in a full strength, with Petrarca back next year, and say he's, I don't know.
Clary at the Crows.
Well, that probably is a game changer if he's moved.
Bear of good news, bad news?
Bad news. Bad news for some.
If say the Melbourne team doesn't change the midfield from this year and you've got Petrarca back, would you still look at a Trent Rivers? His average is up at close to 88 now. Yeah. If he's a defender, it's easier, but if he's a midfield only, what are you thinking there?
He's honestly one I look at every year pre-season. Just delusional hope that Goodwin mixes it up in the midfield, as he's done now with Petrarca out. Another pew from you, Sim.
It was actually one of the greats.
Yep. One of the unique names with 5 names.
That's the one. And this year, the second half after Petrarca going out, it's been what we've been praying for from Rivers. That's what his junior numbers showed he could do. I think next year I'd take the punt with him, start with him. But just in terms of that Melbourne midfield as well, that is the question. And it's just, we're just hoping that there's some movement, there's some change in there.
He's the kind of guy, it reminds me of, obviously Fremantle moved to Hayden Young in there.
Yeah.
Recently we've seen Ed Richards go in there, the guys that are the ball users moving from that distributing role into a midfield role and just getting more volume but still being able to deliver the footy well. Yeah, Rivers fits that mould. So he's one I'd be still looking at. Nice price, and with a full season training as a midfielder could really come into his own. Now, clearly I've done more research than you guys on this because you guys are pretty quiet. But
because you said Angus Sheldrick.
I've got one. I've got a couple.
Matt
Roberts. Yep, so I was going to go
wanted
this
to
one.
jump in there.
Yep, May Roberts.
Your man. Big on him in the preseason.
Yep, we've talked about him for years on this show. Back over his junior numbers, averaged 200 SuperCoach points in the Samp Under 18s. Now, we can say that with Hipster not here. We know he's a ball magnet. We saw that early in the preseason in the role, but he's taken on more responsibility now. He's the man down there to get the ball in his hand. Jake Lloyd 2.0, the new and improved Jake Lloyd at the Sydney Swans, currently averaging 76 points per game.
Getting a call.
Whoa.
Oh. Let's, hello, you're on the Lair?
Is that the Hipster?
If you want on the show right now, you're going to struggle, but
You're on the show right now. We are live, Hipster. We had a question, a comment come through on X. Just quickly, they asked for you. Adam Backers asked for you. We just want to know, did you enjoy the Tristan Cherry show on the weekend?
I didn't watch it. Thanks for thinking of me, though, Adam.
He's been calling me about
it's been a good trade. A good trade in. Yeah, look, as I've banged on about all year, he's the best Supercoach of the season by a mile. When you consider what you could have got him for in round one, those that had him in round one, which obviously wasn't me. So if it was Adam or anyone else, congratulations. You've had the best He would win the Supercoach MVP this year, I think.
Yep, well done, Hipster. We're glad you've finally picked him and gone through with it. You have been talking about him, so well played.
Yeah, it only took me to my last trade, and what did I get, 6 rounds out of him?
How did you go on the weekend?
No, I thought it went okay. It was 24.56 or something, and but I actually moved back 500 spots. So I've sort of been in this sort of 11,000 to 15,000 range for almost now, unfortunately. So, yeah, we've just got some guys out of form. Holmes has been poor the last month, and Simpkin and Warner have been terrible trade-ins. So they've been the main issues, and then I had to choose which player to play on my bench to get McKercher on the field. I chose Nick Martin. He outscores almost by 33. That would have been handy. So, yeah.
Now, Hipster, it's your man here, Phantom Junior. Wondering if you're like me and you've wondering if you're like me and you've been planning already for 2025. And do you have any players you're looking at that you've got a keen eye on, maybe underpriced or maybe that are performing well in the last section of the season here that you've got your eye on for next season?
We're already talking 2025, Dossy. That's saying something. That's a bit of a worry. If that's already, we've still got 3 rounds left. This is normally a post-season thing that we do. But
all about it, mate.
If this is how desperate we are for to get past 2024, I think honestly, sort of half touched on it. I think McKercher might be one of those that's probably got another level in him. You put me on the spot a bit. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. I've been just trying to get through the season.
Must be nice.
1 week at a time. But I think he probably has another level.
Yeah, he's only averaging 83.8 for the year. So yeah,
defender as well.
I think he could be a 95.
Yeah,
type.
Averaging 100 in his last 5. Hipster, good shout.
Yeah, he's someone that, off the top of my head. Locally, I'm just trying to think, is there anyone that sort of applies in the South Australian aspect? Geez, how's Zach Taylor been scoring?
Ooh.
Wow.
That's dare I say, Hipster, a little bit of a...
Taking my seat.
I did invent it.
Well, just previously on the show today, we actually just renamed it for a while until you come back. Unique names with 5 names. We had a commenter type in, say, where's the Hipster? Has he lost his spot? Can we at least change the segment name? So you need to win your spot back. But Zach Taylor, he could be your way back in.
So hang on. So one person says something. Imagine a government or a council or like a big business.
That's how I would report it.
One person's calling for it on social media.
You haven't missed.
No, not really. Will Day hurt me, but he was good for a little while.
Someone want to answer the question? How is Taylor?
Anyway, if you want to send something in, we'll take it. Well, that's all we need. But there's been a bit of a silent uprising for 5 names. The support is there.
Yeah. Well, look, he's like I said, he's got probably as many supporters for him as names. So he's
top 5.
Take 5.
Exactly.
Take 5.
So.
What was the over-under?
So, I think, locally, I was just, like I said, Zach Taylor, someone that's looking good. again, it's going to come down to roll, isn't it? So, no, you caught me on the hop on that one. McKirch is the other one I can think about.
Yeah, well, very good, Hipster. Thanks for popping in. Zach, Adam will be happy. We'll get back, let you get back to whatever you're doing. I'm sure it's drinking a craft beer or something down a little alleyway, as we know the Hipster does.
No, I've actually been at the zoo today. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Very good.
bit of an outing.
How are Wang and Phry going?
I hate those pandas.
Yeah,
so
we
much.
only got about 2 weeks of them, I think. They're only getting sent back. We're getting some newies.
I hate those pandas.
What do you got against the
Adelaide Zoo's
pandas?
got 2 trays up her sleeve, mate. How's it feel?
All right. Thanks.
No, well, the good thing is I've actually answered Dossy's phone and my number because I thought, geez, the last few weeks I've been ignored. We're meant to be getting a new PuraTap upgrade, and they've been ringing me. They've been ringing me every Monday for about a month, and I thought, because I've kept ignoring their call, I thought, they've just now called me on a different number. So that's why I thought. That's who I thought you were. I honestly thought you were a PuraTap.
Pure.
Exactly. That's could be pew. Too pure.
Oh, very good. Well, your beanie bag's waiting here for you next time, Hipster.
No worries, gents. Enjoy.
Oh, well.
See you later.
Dossy, the PuraTap salesman. The only reason he picked up.
Well,
He said we weren't going to get anything out of him. He spoke for 7 minutes.
That just sums him up. I mean, can't win a game, Dossy, but you can sell a tap.
Are we calling him back in 2 minutes as PuraTap?
So, Bear, your number. He wouldn't have your number, would he?
No,
Well, he
he's
might.
got my number. Yep.
Must be nice around here.
Hayden Young, another one. Saw him on the weekend, how good he was. Goal kicking midfielder. His first year full time in the midfield. I posted it on X about Jamara and Hayden Young. I think he can go up another level in terms of how much footy he wins, as well in that another pre-season as a midfielder with the midfield group. His price is going to be the awkward one, though. You'd probably need to be sure about it in there, and that's what some of the feedback so far on X is he's going to be in that awkward bracket between 540 and 600k. There's going to be some real sort of sure thing options, you'd say, in that bracket. So I still like him as a pod. If you can win 3 or 4 or 5 on average disposals per game, still kicking goals. We know goal kicking mids are good for SuperCoach. So
Just a few names coming through as well from the listeners commenting on that. One, Geordie DeSena saying, friend of the show too, ranked a little bit above you, so I might be writing him on the way home. 423 ranked there for Geordie. Got a DM about that on the weekend. Elijah Hewitt, he's saying almost basement price, going to be, if he's still a mid forward as well. He also mentioned Philippou there. Some people eyeing off a Cam Rayner for next year.
unique names, 5 names.
Unique names. I've actually got one as well, and this is a very volatile one. But one I'll be looking closely to end the season, and also what happens off season with this individual. Rory Lobb.
Ooh.
Wowee,
He has looked good going back.
He's 93 against Melbourne, 69 against Sydney, but 126 against Geelong. Is a forward, is cheap, or should be cheapish. Don't know if he's going to be at the Bulldogs. Don't know if he's going to be a defender. But if he is those two things, I don't know. Just one to watch.
You're not doing that.
I'm not going to do it.
He's looked great.
He has looked great. He's just one to keep a close eye on.
Do you like his work on TikTok, Bear?
Big fan of his work on TikTok. Just got to keep that up the sleeve. That is the resume.
Yeah.
If we're talking off-season moves,
Trade show.
One of your mates, Phantom, Sam Berry.
Wow.
Where's he going to be?
That's 5
breaking
names.
news?
That's all your forte.
I like it.
You started with him this year, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I told you not to.
I think we all told him not to, but fresh team feel maybe.
Don't mind it. Roll, because that's we need to look at increased role of the off-season. You think a new team he goes to will promise him more midfield time.
And last one, I think we can get to our vice captains and captains as we did promise
From
that last week.
Yep.
Didn't do it. I was listening back. I'm like, when are we going to get to these vice captains? Oh, we didn't do it. Mac Andrew.
Ooh, yeah.
Big, strong start to this year. Tailed off. Bit of potential to play. I think he played a little bit of forward on the weekend as well. Kicked some big snags. Obviously didn't quite get the chocolates. But if he's playing as a forward ruck, look out, because I think I mentioned earlier in the year, I'm like, I'd love him to move in and play a little bit more ruck as well. If he's playing forward ruck or interceptor or just everywhere, love Mac. He is the new unicorn of the AFL.
Yep, that's from @Ace of the Stars on X as well. Look at that post if you've got any names for us. We can follow up on next week's show. Who have you got your eye on for 2025 at the Phantom SC? As you mentioned, junior VC and C options. We apologise for not getting to them last week.
One
but
job.
obviously
You had one job.
Trudie got the message about Marcus Bontempelli. But let's look at round 22. The round starts on Friday night at the SCG. The Sydney Swans got absolutely pantsed here in Adelaide on Saturday night against the Magpies. Can we trust Nick Dacos? Is he the easy Friday night VC, or what are we looking at?
I'd rather Errol Goulden, actually.
Ooh.
That's if you're going to do a VC from that game.
Yep, Pies give up plenty. Isaac Heaney, could he bounce back?
Team looking to respond, yeah. It just depends if the whole Swans outfit responds. Yeah, there's probably a few of those premiums. Goulden, great shout. Heaney, potentially. Yeah, I do like that. I don't know about Dacos would be a tough one. I generally as well, I think I've spoke about this many times before, I generally don't do Friday/Thursday night VCs.
Well,
That's what cost me last week. That's what.
Will they tag?
Not blaming you.
I did it last week because, I don't know why. The pressure got to me.
Oh, well, happy days.
136 for Isaac Heaney in round 2 against the Pies. Round 1. So I'm counting opening round as the first one. MCG dominated that day. Not a bad shout.
Not
What else
bad.
we think? Lockie Neal, we mentioned at the top of the show.
Yeah.
Don't go near him as VC. Against Toby Bedford the first game Saturday afternoon. Again, if you can, maybe even loop him, put the E on him on the bench. If you've got a 23rd premium, this could be your chance to use it.
Does that mean instead of Dunkley might get more ball, or Zorko?
Could be interesting matchup.
Well, I'm, in terms of vice captain, looking at someone who's going against Lockie Neal and Lockie Whitfield. Ooh.
He is picking it, isn't he?
He is, big time. What's his last 3 score? 152 against the Hawks, 133 against the D's, 137
He's just been on a tear.
against
Yep, I
Gold
like
Coast.
it.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Like, I think the Phantom has traded him out this year. Plenty of people did. He's in some bad form and just coming home strong. So, love that from you. I think Harry Sheasel, pretty obvious one. I think 5 names.
Your neck of the
You keen
woods.
on that
One
one?
neck of the
5
woods, and Cherry as well. You know.
Oh,
down
Sherry against West Coast.
there. Yeah, I think he's a great VC of the option now. How well
So
he's playing.
consistent.
So consistent, yeah. And it's down. Who are West Coast even going with in the ruck at the moment?
Don't know if did we play Flynn last week? I'm not sure. I think we might have. I'll have to check.
Jeez, if only we had a West Coast fan on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Was that? Oh no, Bailey Williams is still the ruck at the moment.
Oh, Cherry.
Yeah,
Cherry.
They might
One of
bring
those two,
Flynn, though.
yeah.
162 weeks ago for Sheasel down
He does
at
like
Blundstone
He does
Arena.
like playing there.
You popping down as well this weekend?
I'm down there. I haven't decided I'm going to pop into the game yet, but
Ooh.
could go down there.
Tasmanian royalty. Bear, 5 names.
Geez, you know who I actually like for VC, especially with Bont playing the last game of the round? Zach Butters against Melbourne and Connor
the G.
Rosie. Connor Rosie as well, both of them. We just saw the Western Bulldogs, I'm sorry, Bear, just tear your lot to shreds. And it was the Bont who just last week got the 180. I think if anyone's capable of matching close to that, it is one Zach Butters. So I think for me,
Don't mind that.
Zach Butters,
like that.
VC for me on the Saturday night game into probably just a Bont C.
Did score 184 against the Demons last year, Zach Butters, Adelaide Oval.
That was one of the great games that I've seen.
That's a huge one. I think on the other Sunday, you like potentially your man, Jack Sinclair, up against the Tigs.
Marvel Stadium, walking 140 almost at Marvel Stadium. Jack Sinclair would love to VC him, but it's not going to work. Second last game
Could you go him over Bont?
of the round. Could go him over Bont. Butters in to Jack Sinclair, maybe. What do the Crows do with Bont? 5 names? Not much.
Don't think so. Maybe they get... Yeah, how they use Dawson, Crouch, or Laird against him? I don't know. I was just going to say before you threw me there, is Ron Marshall a sneaky little captain option? You know, Cherry went big against Nank. Does Rowan Marshall go big?
Don't mind
Does
it.
Nank go big against Marshall? 150 old Nank last week.
Yeah.
Bont against the Crows in his last 3, 112, 88, 87. But bear in mind, most of those games, all those 3 scores, had been down at Ballarat, which we know is a bit different to Adelaide Oval. Bear Torres probably there.
Good old Eureka Stadium, mate.
Maybe Jack Sinclair. Butters into Sinclair for me.
Butters into Nank for me.
Nank.
Ooh.
Got 58 from him last time, so it can't be worse.
Also Rogue.
Shizu into Butters as well,
I'm
potentially.
probably going to do that, I reckon.
Could you do Butters as C?
Yeah, I think so. Comfortably.
I'm tempted by Butters, but at the moment I'm Whitfield into Flanders.
Wow. Flanders against...
That's a great question. I had it there before. Essendon at Marvel.
Okay.
Just because I feel like he's broken the ton run streak. I think you want to bounce back. But I do like the Butters call on a Saturday night.
Yep. Mateo just popped up on X. Flanders as a defender should be the number 1 selected player in 2025.
As a defender? Does he...
If he gets defender
I
status,
think he's played too
Mateo's
much mid
hoping.
in the last... I think he'll be a pure mid.
Interesting to see.
Yeah,
close,
if he's mid,
Be close.
if he's defender mid, yeah.
Go on, work the game, Phantom.
Yep.
Give the people what they want.
Interesting
Just
one.
send another email, mate. I know you got an extra trade up your sleeve because of that email.
Yep.
Now, you guys had called that you have a bit of a frying pan.
Taking over this week.
Phants frying pan.
Do you want to go first, Bear?
I'm going for that same play we've already mentioned.
Yeah.
Am I doubling down on him?
I think we are.
Okay. 53. I'm just looking at my team right now.
It's a hit job.
53.
Hit job, Dossy. Poor old Will Day.
We'll call him his nickname, Willem Day,
Willem Day.
as called by you. A great
Willem
pupil
Day.
back in the day. Just sitting there watching. I think maybe he was in -1 at quarter time or something.
It wasn't good.
It was atrocious. Luckily for me, he combined for 205 with Lockie Whitfield. That made it a little bit easier. But I was sitting there, I was having to try and chase down my league matchup in the elimination final, and he gave me absolutely nothing. You've gone to town on him in terms of not being able to handle contact. I'm going to steer clear of that. I'm going to throw you under the bus with that one
Oh, even though you were saying it.
and let you get personal.
Oh, We'll he just needs, sometimes you need some tough love, and we'll respond from this well, but geez, it was a pretty weak effort, wasn't it?
It was.
Weak.
It was. Weak, your words. Yep,
Yeah.
thank you. But I'm not, even if I did have an excess of trades, I've only got 1 left, I'm not trading him.
You'd have to back him in to bounce back.
He's a star. Now that we know he can't handle any contact, mate.
Yeah. He's just terrible, which is annoying.
Carlton.
Carlton
And Richmond to finish.
do they put Chinchilla on him this week?
Oh,
Yeah, good sight, good matchup.
that's a good question. If they do, then same time next week.
Yep.
Sounds good.
There it is, Dossy. Bear and 5 names just picked on a, 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid.
South Australia, we've probably got
Poor
mutuals
form.
as well.
Now, look, I know we're wrapping it up, Phantom, but we did just have a final late call, and it is from the appeals board. In fact, it is
no.
the final verdict.
Guilty.
Not guilty. I'm going to appeal the verdict.
As the chair of the appeals board, I said that there was all.
You've been overruled. You've been overruled.
All's
It is,
fair
in
in
fact.
love in SuperCoach. 5 names. Now, happy to talk to anyone about SuperCoach if you do want some advice. Just happened to be just a coincidence that Trudie wanted our help the week she was taking on Dossy. Get serious in SuperCoach finals. We know the league is serious. Shutting me off.
Shut you off.
Now, Dossy might not like it, but if you like it out there on the Lair, if you're enjoying the show, please, we've never asked this before, so can you help us out? Leave a comment. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you might want to hear or see next year in 2025. Do you want 5 names to stick around? Do you like Bear and Dossy, the new addition. Do you want the OG panel back? Let us know. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. Hopefully we'll be back bigger than ever in 2025. We'll be back next week. Though, Bear and I still in the finals. Big weekend of SuperCoach. We're almost at the finish line. Glory is in sight. Enjoy your Mad Monday 5 names. Dossy, for SuperCoaches out there who are celebrating the end of the season, enjoy it. Enjoy it responsibly.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Robbed. Right in front of me. Right in front of me.